not included. Yeah. So I already introduced myself, guys. So let me start the basics for the first 10 minutes. So basically, Snowflake, it's a database. So when I say database, right, it will be used to store the customer information. Okay. So let's take this example. Let's say there is a bank called Bank of America. So they're giving different services to the customers. They're into insurance, they're into banking, they'll give loans, right? So these are the different services that this bank is offering. And if you see the branches, right, insurance is a separate branch. Okay, in banking is different, and loans is a different department. So why they have segregated into different branches? To treat the relevant customers for the service. Similarly, in the database, when you are storing the data, right, you will have different schemas. Okay, schema 1, schema 2, schema 3. Okay, so when I say schema, let's say in the current example, schema 1 will be responsible for storing insurance information, schema 2 will be for banking information, and schema 3 will be for loans information. Yes, if you have any question, you can stop me immediately. So the point is database will have different schemas. What exactly schema will contain? Schema will contain different objects, guys. Okay. So if you take any database, so I think in the market you might have heard about different databases, right? Maybe you heard about Oracle, SQL Server, okay. You heard about Teradata, okay. Yeah, PostgreSQL, SQL, you have Netezza, okay, and you have different databases. IBM DB2 is there, okay. I think MySQL. These are the different databases in the market. If we take any database, the data will be stored in the tables. The data will be stored in the tables. So we have different other objects. We'll talk about that later. What exactly meant by a table? So basically, a table will have rows and columns. I'll take the simple example is here, just to explain what is a table. And just a minute. Let me take a few of your names. So we have Prashant is there, Tarun is there, Sudhakar is there. Let's say I'm just giving student number. Let's say student name. Let's say he joined for the course, and let's say when he joined, date of joining. So first number is student number is one, and let's say he's Tarun, and he joined for Snowflake, and let's say he joined on 23rd September 2024. We have one more person too. Let's say Harish. He joined for the same course on the same day. I'm just sticking with these two records. So if I have to explain you about a table, so this is a table, guys. Okay. So in this particular table, you have how many rows, guys? This is called as a row. This is okay. We have two rows, and how many columns we have? We have four columns. So we have four columns, and we have two rows. So we should know. You should understand one more term called data type, guys. There's a term called data type. What exactly meant by data type? Yes, these are the basic. I think most of the people knows, but just only for the 10 minutes. Okay. So let us say if I have to talk about the data type, what exactly meant by data type, guys? Anyone? So in the first column, I'm storing numeric information, right? In the second column, character information. This is also character. This is a date. So when I say data type, the simple definition is so type of information, okay, which we are storing in a column. That's it. That's a simple definition. Okay. So what are the different data types we have? So we have a number, so which will be used to store numeric information. Character, that is nothing but a varchar, guys. Varchar is a data type which will be used to store the character information. And there is one more data type called date, guys, that will be used to store the date information. So we know what is a table. A table will have rows and columns, okay, and we know what is a data type and what are the different data types we have. As of today, we are just learning about number, varchar, and date. Okay, so the basic prerequisite to understand a Snowflake is you should know what is a database and what are the different terminology you have. Okay, and one more important term that you need to understand is on-premise. What do you mean by on-premise? And you need to understand one more term called cloud. What do you mean by on-premise? I'll take you a simple example. Let us say I want to install, let's say, one of the software. I want to install one of the software. Let's say, let me just do. Mhm. Any questions, guys? And let's take this example. I want to install one of the software base. Let's say the software is Oracle. I want to install Oracle. Okay. So to install the software, what I need to do? So I need to have the laptop with the proper configuration, right? So let me first, what I need to do, I need to log in. Okay. I need to search for the required software. Let's say I want to install Oracle 19c. So this is the latest version. So I want to install this. To install this, you need to search for that, and so you need to download the required version, right? So this will be of around 2 GB, guys, the software size. Okay. So can you see the zip file, guys? This is your zip file size, and they are giving you the specification. What are the different things that you need actually? So let me click on this. So once you click on this, you need to download the zip file, right? So you need to download this and you need to install this. Okay. It requires space. Okay. And it requires the proper configuration. Okay. So that is with respect to on-premise. In the on-premise, what you need to do? So you need to download the software, okay, and you need to install it. And let's say you have installed a version called 19c, guys. Some version, okay. The current version which we are planning to install is, let's say, 19c. Okay. Let us say after some time, Oracle released a new version called 21c. Okay. You have another version called 21c. Now you are in 19c. They have released a new version into the market, that is 21c. Okay. So they released 21c. Now what you need to do, again you need to upgrade, right? Again you need to upgrade, correct? You need to upgrade to the latest version. So as a user, you have to do all these things. That is on premise. Okay. I'll take you one more example. Let us say we have Surendra. Okay. He wants to start a business. Okay. Let us say he wants to start a supermarket. Okay. He wants to start a supermarket. So what are the different things that he needs to, what to say, required to start the business? First of all, he needs to purchase the hardware, right? He needs to purchase the hardware, and he needs to purchase the required software for the, if the e-commerce. Okay. And he needs to run it for 24 by 7, right? His business should run 24 by 7, because if any customer place a online order, right, so his server should be up and running. So to maintain like 24 by 7, there is some cost, right? Okay. It's not that you have customers from 8 o'clock to even 5 o'clock. Okay. After that, you are not supposed to shut down the servers, right? Okay. So because you have to bear all the costs, the costs to purchase the hardware. Let us say you are currently purchasing the hardware, let's say 1 terabyte of hard disk, or let's say 2 terabytes of hard disk, and that let's say 32 GB of RAM. So 32 GB of RAM, and you purchase the software. Let's say the software name is, version is, let's say, some name 2x is the software version. Okay. And you purchase that and you started the business. So let's say initially you have around 100 customers. Okay. And after 3 months, okay, after 3 months you feel that your business is growing, so you're planning to increase your capacity. So let us say from 2 terabytes 32 GB RAM to, let's say, so 3 terabytes. Okay. And let's say 64. Initially you have around, let's say, 16 GB, and later you are planning to increase it to 32 GB. Okay. Because you are having more number of customers, to serve the customers better, you are increasing. Again, this is called, guys, this is called, the term which you need to understand is scale up. What do you mean by scale up? You are increasing your existing capacity from lower to higher. That is called scale up. Because you're having more number of customers, to serve the customers, you're increasing your capacity. Let us say after 3 months you feel that your business is not growing. Okay. You want to reduce the capacity. I don't want to maintain these many, what to say, this much of capacity. I want to reduce that. That is called what? Scale down, guys. So the example why I'm giving you is to understand what is on premise, what is scale up, what is scale down. So in case of on premise, as a business owner, or as a what to say, as a user, you have to purchase everything. Okay. You have to purchase the software, hardware, you have to purchase the computers. Okay. You have to maintain the servers, everything you have to bear, all the costs which are incurring to run this business, you have to bear everything. But what exactly meant by cloud? In case of cloud, what you're doing here, there are some cloud providers, guys. We have AWS. I think you might have heard about these cloud providers: AWS, Azure, and GCP. So these are the three cloud providers who are supporting many of the customers. Okay, let us say my requirement is I want to start this business with this capacity. So what I need to do is I just need to place a request to them. Okay, let us say I'm using AWS, Amazon. Okay, I think you people know that in Gachibowli we have Amazon data center, right? Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm placing a request to my AWS team actually. Okay, hey, I need this much of capacity. Can you prepare the environment for me? Okay, so what they will do, so they'll prepare the environment and they'll share you one URL with username and password. That's it, guys. Okay, no need of downloading the software, installing, no need to purchase the hardware, nothing. Nothing is required. Let's say if you need, let's say 10 systems, they'll share you 10 different URLs. That's it. With that you can log in and you can work with the required capacity. So what is the advantage, guys, in terms of cloud? Guys, I hope you are following. Yes, right. So what is the advantage that you are going to get in cloud? Nowadays you're hearing like many of the startups came into the picture, right? Earlier you have only is like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Accenture. So these are the like what's a major companies. Okay, because they have the infrastructure. Okay, they are running from long time. But nowadays you are hearing like many of the startups. Why many of the startups came into the market? Because the initial cost is very less. They are making use of these cloud providers to set up the environment. Okay, so with the minimal what to say investment, you can start a company because you're taking the services from these customers. Okay, so what is the advantage that we are going to get in case of cloud? Because the maintenance cost, purchasing the hardware, software will be reduced. And one more important point is, let us say I am utilizing the services for say, let's say 3 hours. So I have to pay only for 3 hours. Okay, let's say if I use it for let's say 5 minutes, I need to pay only for 5 minutes. That's it. That is the advantage that you are getting in terms of cloud. But in case of on-premise, so as the business owner, you're not supposed to shut down your servers, right? Because you don't know when the customer is going to place an order. Right? Okay. So the important terms that we have learned is what is a database. So what is a schema? Database will contain different schemas. Schema will contain different objects, out of which we learned about tables. Table will have rows and columns, and there are different data types. And we talked about what is on-premise, what is a cloud, and what are the different cloud providers you have. Let us take one more example. Let us say we have Srikanth. Srikanth, let's say he developed one software. So let us say the software is let's say S1. He's developed a software called S1, and he wants to bring this to the public. Okay, what are the different ways, guys? If I let's say if I developed a software, if I want to bring this to the market, what are the different ways? One way is I need to approach any software company and I'll ask them to advertise on behalf of me. Okay, that is one way. Okay, because as a software as a owner, right, you may not have that much of money to what to say do the marketing and bring to the public. So what you can do is you have a software, but you want to bring this to the public. Okay, you can approach these cloud providers. Okay, say that I have the software, can you just market this? What they will do, so they'll do the marketing on behalf of you. Okay, so what you are doing internally, you're going to be a partner of these cloud providers. Okay, because you are giving this product to the cloud providers, so there will be a like profit share between you and the respective company. Okay, because they are doing the online marketing for you. So similarly, Snowflake. Let us take Snowflake developed a software, okay, and they want to bring this to the public. What they have done, they have approached these cloud providers. What they are doing, let us say I am Krishna, I want to use Snowflake. I am not supposed to directly reach out to Snowflake because Snowflake is already in partner with these cloud providers. So I need to approach either AWS, Azure, or GCP. Okay, I need to ask them, I need Snowflake. What they will do, they'll prepare the environment for you and they'll give you the details. Okay, so you can take a simple example case. Gmail is there. You need to, if you want to log into Gmail, you need to have the URL. So I need to give the username and password. That's it. Okay, so this is one of the cloud actually. You can log in and you can send the files. Okay, or you can download or whatever you want. You can do that. So that is one more example. And one more important term that you need to understand is you should know what are the different formats of the data you have, guys. Okay, so this is one more important point. What are the different formats of the data we have? We have structured format, guys. Can you see here? Structured format, and you have one more format called semi-structured format. Okay, when I say structured format, you can take an example of a table or any CSV file. So if I say any CSV file, let me show you one of the CSV file. Look at this example, guys. So we have employee number and employee name, status, and all right. We have many details here. So this is one of the CSV file. Can you see the extension? It is a comma separated value. This is called as a structured format. And we were talking about semi-structured, right? We have XML, JSON, Parquet, Avro, Org. So these are the different formats we have. Anyways, I'll come to this later. But these are the different formats you have. Now let's talk about what exactly meant by Snowflake. So as I already told you, Snowflake is a database. Okay? And there are three cloud providers who are supporting Snowflake. One is AWS, Azure, and GCP. And these are the different regions. Now, nowadays in the real time, what exactly happening is, I already told you that we have different databases in the market, right? Guys, do you know what is a warehouse? Anyone? What is a warehouse?
Stores the
Warehouse.
large information.
Stored in one place.
Yes. I'll put it with a simple example. You have this D-Mart and Walmart, right? Right. So that is a warehouse actually. Okay. Warehouse means you'll have like more items actually. Okay. So in the current scenario, we have, let's say, OLTP and OLAP. I think you might have heard about this. OLTP means, let's take a simple example. Let us say you are doing the transaction with your bank. Okay, let us say you are the customer for, let's say, HDFC Bank for the past 10 years. Okay, if you want to download any statement, right, what you need to do, let's say you want to download the past, let's say, 2 months of statement, you can download immediately, right? Let's say if you want to download for the past 10 years, okay, you need to place a request and you'll get a download link. From there you can download. So the point is, OLTP means it a current transactions. Okay, it will have the current transactions. OLAP means it's a current transaction. OLAP means it's a history actually. Okay, generally, right? If you take HDFC Bank, they are in the market from like more than 30 years, I guess. Okay, okay. So all the historical information will be maintained under OLAP. Okay, or it's an analytical application, it's a transaction processing. Okay, so basically, warehouse means it will have the historical information. So in the current market, right, all these databases, all the existing databases, they are migrating towards Snowflake. Why they are moving to Snowflake? So we need to understand that people who are having experience on these databases, they are switching their technology to Snowflake. Why they are upgrading to Snowflake? So what are the different advantages we have? We'll talk about that. So why Snowflake? Okay. So basically, Snowflake, it's a, I already told you, it's a cloud database. Okay, you can call it as a data warehouse also. Okay, and one more important point is you have to pay only for the services that you have consumed. So we talked about it. In case of on-premise, you have to run the servers by 24 by 7. Okay, and you have to bear all the costs. But in case of cloud, what is the advantage that you are going to get? The Snowflake is like, it's a per second billing, guys. Okay, let's say for initial second, let's say if you contribute for like a minimum 40 seconds, right, they'll charge you per minute. Okay, after that it will be per second billing. And one more important point is the storage services are flexible. Whenever you want, you can scale up and scale down. I'll show you that. Okay, once we create the Snowflake account, I'll show you how can we do that. So it supports all kinds of data. Okay, so can you see here we have JSON, XML, Parquet, and all, right? And one more important point is it has integrations with cloud services like Amazon, Azure, and GCP. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, we will create the accounts with Azure, Amazon, and GCP, and we'll see how can we load the data into Snowflake. And also, it has integrations with ETL and reporting tools. So when I say ETL and reporting, let me take you to a slide. Okay, see this is Snowflake. So it can interact, or you can send the data from Snowflake to these ETL tools, or you can get the data from these ETL tools. You might have heard about Informatica, DBT, Talent, right? These are the different ETL tools we have in the market. And also you can interact with big data tools like Hadoop, Big Hive, okay, Spark, PySpark, right? So these are big data tools. Okay, these are for big data processing. So you can send the data, you can get the data, and finally the data can be moved to a reporting layer. When I say reporting layer, nowadays Power BI is popular, right? So Power BI can connect to Snowflake, and you can generate reports on top of it. So the point is, with the help of Snowflake, you can interact with different user groups. The group may be a ETL or reporting or analytics, okay, or integration, whatever it may be. That much of flexibility you have with this Snowflake. So that is the reason nowadays it is more popular in the market. And one more important point is it has integrations with Python. Let us say you are writing some code in Python. You want to access one of the table in Snowflake. Okay, you can do that. Okay, and also it has some advanced features, guys. So I will talk about that. And let me just make a list of what are the different things that you are going to learn. So we are going to learn mostly on Snowflake, and we'll talk about IACS. When I say IACS, Informatica Integrated Cloud Service, guys. I think in the earlier slide you have seen that, right? We have Informatica DBT, right? Look at this. We have Informatica DBT, right? So we are going to learn about that is Informatica, and we're going to talk about DBT. It's a data build tool. It is having huge, big market in the nowadays. Do a search in LinkedIn or Naukri or Monster. You'll find a lot of openings with this combination, Snowflake with the DBT. Okay, even for Informatica also you are having a good number of openings. Okay, and we are going to talk about we'll create different accounts with AWS, Azure, and GCP, and we'll see how we are going to load the data. Okay, from these cloud providers to Snowflake. And also we'll talk about one more thing called Oracle on few of the examples. We'll take a real-time scenario, how we are going to load the data from Oracle to Snowflake. So that is the example that we are going to take. And also we'll see different tools called Anaconda is there, one of the tool, and Visual Studio is there. And we'll see a couple of examples on Python as well. And we'll talk about how Power BI looks like, and how we are going to connect to Snowflake from Power BI, and we'll see a couple of reports that we are going to generate. So basically in the market, right, when I say Snowflake, basically it's a data engineer role. Okay, data engineer. Do you guys know what exactly meant by a data engineer? Anyone?
Influencing the data.
Right. See, I'll tell you. See, basically, the data engineer role is nowadays people are expecting these roles from you. So the person should be strong in one of the database. So we are talking about Snowflake and Oracle. So as part of this, so Snowflake and Oracle we are talking. We're going to work on. And ETL. When it comes to ETL, what we are going to learn is we are going to learn about Informatica and DBT and scripting. When I say scripting, we will see few examples on Python. Okay, and you need to be strong in any one of the cloud. Okay, so I'll show you how to create. I already told it. We'll create accounts with AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay, and the person should know about reporting tools. When I say reporting, we are going to talk about a couple of examples on Power BI. So this combination is a data engineer combination. Okay, so if you want to plan your career, you should be a data engineer. Okay, so this is the role, guys. Okay, so our course will cover we main concentration will be on Snowflake, but we'll try to see how we're going to use these tools in your real time. Let's say if you say like you're working on a Snowflake, so they'll ask you what are different tools and technologies that you're using in your project. Okay, so you should be in a position to explain that, right? So our course will cover purely with respect to data engineer point of view. Okay, so anyways, we'll talk about that. Now let's jump to the. You're clear on this part, right? Why we are using Snowflake? Because of its integrations. Okay, it can interact with different user groups. To learn any technology, guys, you should know about the architecture. Okay, what exactly meant by a Snowflake architecture? So can you see, guys, you have database layer, query processing layer, cloud services layer, right? Database layer, query processing layer, cloud services layer. So I'll put it with a simple example. So let us say you have your external hard disk. Okay, you have your external hard disk. External hard disk is there. Okay, so let us say you are having a different files, images, videos. Okay, and your external hard disk is of, let's say, 1 terabyte. Okay, now what I'm doing is I would like to play the video from this external hard disk, or I want to read any contents from this particular drive. So let us assume you have three computers. PC1, which is of, let's say, 4 GB RAM. Okay, you have one more computer with let's say 8 GB RAM, and you have another computer with, let's say, 16 GB RAM. So you have required three computers with the different RAM sizes. Now, if I connect my external hard disk to 16 GB, that will give more performance, right? When it compares with other computers, because the RAM size is more, right? So that's the reason I'm going to get more performance. Now let me apply the same logic to the Snowflake architecture. So in the Snowflake architecture, we have three different layers, right? Database storage layer, query processing layer, and cloud services layer. So in the database storage layer, let's assume this is your external hard disk. So you have the data in the database, okay? And what is this query processing layer? So instead of virtual warehouse, put the RAM. Okay, let's assume for the sum for the last next 1 minute. Let's assume this is your RAM. So you have, let's assume this is your 4 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, 32 GB RAM. Okay, 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, and 16 GB RAM. Now tell me if I use which warehouse or which RAM. Okay, let's assume there is a computer with 16 GB RAM. If I use this computer, I can get the data from my external hard disk within no time, right? I can play the videos, I can read the data very effectively, right? If I use the computer which is having more RAM. Okay, now remove RAM and put virtual warehouse, and remove the external hard disk and use as a database. So in the database layer, data will be stored in the, or else let me tell you this, data will be stored in the database. That is a simple word. Now what is this? How can you read the data? If you want to read the data from the database, you need a virtual warehouse. Clear, guys? If you want to read the data from the database, you require virtual warehouse. Without the help of virtual warehouse, you cannot read the data from the database. So in a simple term, the database layer will be responsible for storing the data. Query processing layer will be responsible for reading the data from the database. Okay, so let us say you have your resume in your laptop, and you want to copy that to your external hard disk. Okay, you want to copy that to your external hard disk. That is what, guys, that is writing, guys. See, reading means you are reading the file from your external hard disk or video from your external hard disk. What is writing? Okay, you are copying a file from your laptop to your external hard disk. That is called writing. Okay, here the important point is virtual warehouse will be responsible for reading or writing data to the database. Now what is this cloud services layer? Okay, anyways, you will understand this once I create an account. Guys, to create an account, or before creating the account, I just want to hear from you. Do you guys have any questions?
For Snowflake or any basic needed for any SQL or Python is
Yes, yes.
mandatory.
SQL is mandatory. So I think I
Oh,
already told you, maybe join late. So the
okay.
basic prerequisite is SQL. Okay. So if you don't have a basic idea, we'll share the videos, and we'll have a separate session to discuss on that. Okay. So let me create the account and we'll try to understand what is the architecture and how we are going to relate to the Snowflake. So let me quickly go to snowflake.com. Go to this site is snowflake.com. So once you open this site, at the right hand side, you'll find start for free, right? You'll find start for free. Click on this start for free. So it is as simple as creating a Snowflake Gmail account. Can you see the message, guys? You will get your 30-day free trial, which includes $400 of free usage. So you need to give your first name, last name, email address, company name. So I'm just taking one of the email. Okay, so I'm just taking this email. Let me give the name as, let's say, Krishna. So this is the email address that I'm using. So company name, I'm giving it as BOA. Role, data engineer. Click on continue. So once you click on continue, can you see the cloud providers? Which cloud provider you want to choose? So as I already told you, there are three cloud providers currently who are supporting Snowflake. Those are Azure, Amazon, and GCP. Okay, so I am going with AWS. It's up to you. Whichever you want, you can choose that. That there is no difference actually. So I'm going with AWS. And can you see the editions of Snowflake, guys? What are the different editions of Snowflake? We have standard, enterprise, and business critical. So what exactly meant by this? What is standard? What is enterprise? What is business critical? Okay. If you look at this slide, we have standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical, right? I think it's too early to talk about these terms, but I'll put it with a simple example. Let us say you are planning to purchase a car. Okay, let's assume this is your base variant, this is mid variant, and this is high variant. So why people go with the high variant? Because they'll get all the features. Similarly, I want to work with most of the features given by Snowflake, so that's the reason I want to go with business critical. And currently I'm going with AWS. Tick mark this checkbox and click on get started. Now they're taking the feedback. Oh, okay, why? What is the reason for you to sign up with Snowflake? I want to complete my training and certification. So when I say training and certification, guys, nowadays, right, if you have the certification, you're having like a good number of opportunities. Okay, certification not mandatory, but it's good to have the certification. So these are the different certification details, guys. The one which I highlighted in yellow, right, that is Snow Pro Core certification. So that is a basic certification. If you complete this course, you can easily clear the basic certification. Okay, I'll share you the required dumps, guys. I have like 3 to 4 dumps with me. I'll share it with you. You can go through that, and it'll have both question as well as answer. You can get around close to 700 questions. Okay, so you can easily clear the exam. So that is on the Snow Pro Core certification. So depending upon your role, okay, so if you are administrator or architect or a data engineer, okay, depending upon your role, you can do the other certification. And one more important point is, have you heard about Gen AI, guys? Gen AI.
Oh yeah.
So yes, so even they are having a integration with Gen AI also. I'll show you that. Let me show you that. Okay. So let me minimize. This is on the certification part, guys. If you don't want to give any feedback, you can skip this step also. Okay. Anyways, let me skip this one. I don't want to give any feedback. Done. So I'll get one activation email to my account. Let me go to that. So can you see the message? Activate your Snowflake account. So first of all, I need to copy this URL because this is the URL that I need to use to log into Snowflake. Let me make a note of it. This is the URL, and I need to generate my username and password. There is an option to activate. Click on this. So I'm giving my username. Let us say the username is Krishna. I'm selecting the password. You need to remember this password, guys, because you're going to use this for your like next 30 days. Let me give the password. Done, guys. So I have given my username and password. Let me click on get started. Let me make a note of the username, and I'm giving the password. Click on skip for now. Okay. Now let me go to the project. See, I need to go to first project. There is a plus symbol, right? Click on this plus symbol. Okay. This is this is what, guys? This is the worksheet, guys. This is the worksheet. And at the left hand side, can you see databases? Yeah, Snowflake and Snowflake sample data. See, basically Snowflake is for completely related to admin, And the Snowflake sample data is what Snowflake has done is Snowflake has given you some tables to practice. See, these are all the, see guys, what is this? This is a database. Can you see the database? This is a database. So I have different schemas, guys. These are all schemas, guys. Information schema. Okay, these are all schemas. Okay, if I open any one schema, what I'm having is I'm having tables. So this is what I discussed, right? So database will have different schemas. Schemas will have different objects. We just talked about tables. So we have different tables, right? We have customer table, nation table, orders table. So these are all the tables that you can use to practice your, like the Snowflake examples. Fine. So what is my requirement? I would like to create a database, guys. I would like to create a database, and let me compare it with the Snowflake architecture. So if you look at the architecture, we have different databases, right? Database one, two, three, four. You have many databases. So I would like to create a database. So to create a database, it's simple. Create database. Let us say I'm giving the database name as, let's say, Bank of America underscore DB. This is my database name. If you want to execute any command, the shortcut is CTRL. Control plus enter is the shortcut. Or else you can use one more thing. Create. Okay, 1 minute. I created the database, right? Let me do a refresh. See, I have the database, right? BOADB. And one more important point is if you create any database, two schemas will be created automatically. What is that? One is information schema. I'll come to this later. But my requirement is I would like to create a schema. Let us say create schema. So in the earlier example, we are talking about a database called BOA. I created the database and I would like to create three schemas, guys. I would like to create three schemas. What are those? I would like to create insurance schema, okay, banking schema and loan schema. Okay, let me create insurance underscore schema. The shortcut is you can use control enter or you can use this play button to execute any command. Let me do a refresh. So you have this insurance schema, right? But do you see any objects here? As of now, I don't have any objects. So let me quickly create the other objects as well. So we're going to create banking schema, and also I would like to create loan schema. Loan schema I have created, and I'm creating banking schema. Let me do a refresh. See, I created banking schema, insurance schema, and loan schema. So if I open any of the schemas, it is saying no objects found. Okay, no objects found. So I would like to create few objects, guys. I think I have already prepared the script. Let me show you that. So I already have the script. Just a minute. Let me bring that. What is that? Yes, I have the file. Let me bring this. So I'll share this file with you. Just repeat the similar steps. So I'm creating couple of tables, guys. I'm creating viewers, program, channel category. I'm creating these tables. Let me create these tables. Okay. If you want to execute multiple statements, you can use select all the statements and click on this play button. So can you see the message, guys? What Snowflake is doing? Snowflake is creating these tables. These are all tables, guys. Okay. Let me do a refresh. So you have four tables, right? One, two, three, four, right? I have four tables. So what I have done, I have created a database schema and I have created a couple of tables. So let me quickly create a few other tables. I'll tell you guys why I'm creating these tables. There is a purpose. I'll tell you that. Now, if I ask you guys, can anyone tell me how many tables are there in this particular schema? How many tables are there? So we have, let me do a refresh. One, two, three, four. Let me again do a refresh. How many tables are there, guys? Anyone?
One in
Sorry?
10 tables. One in registration.
Yes. So Anyways, you can count, but it will be difficult, right? What if you have 100 tables? Okay, you're not going to count it manual, right? You're not going to count it manual, right? So that's where there is one more component called cloud services layer will comes into the picture. There is one thing called metadata manager. What exactly meant by this metadata manager? Once we create a database, two schemas will be created automatically, right? What are those guys? Information schema, right? Information schema. In the information schema, see, I'll write this statement. In the information schema, I have one object called tables. I need to use a condition, guys. I'll tell you why I'm using this later sessions. But let me just run this. If I run this, how many tables I'm getting, guys? Base table. If I run this statement, I can able to get the tables information. See how many tables are there? 11 tables are there. So this is much more easier, right? So in Bank of America database, in banking schema, I have these tables. So I have 11 tables. Now if I create few other tables, let me do that. 11 as of now I have 11, right? This is 12, 13, 14 and 15. Let me run these four statements. So now if I run this information schema dot tables, how many tables it should display? It should display 15 tables, correct? It should display 15 tables. Can you see the count? 15. So what is the purpose of this in cloud services layer, guys? The cloud services layer will maintain the metadata of the objects that you have created. Or in a simple terms, whatever the objects that you are going to create, the cloud services layer will maintain the information. Okay. Now we are talking about a database, right? In the database layer, we will store all the data, right? So let me insert some records into the table. Okay. What is that? Let me pick this table, product table. Okay. I'm picking the product table. So in the product table, I would like to insert few records. So I prepared the statement, okay, just to save the time. I already prepared these statements. So the point is, I'm writing some statement here. Okay. Okay. So there is a product table, and I would like to insert few records into the table. And guys, can you tell me what is the purpose of this warehouse? Can you see a run on warehouse? What it is showing? Warehouse name, compute warehouse, right? So what is the purpose of this warehouse, guys? Any idea? What is the purpose of this warehouse?
To store the large information.
No, no. The purpose of the warehouse, I think. What is the purpose, guys? If I want to write data to the database, or if you want to read the data from the database, I think we took the external hard disk as an example, right? Let us say in your computer you have your resume. You want to copy that to your external hard disk. That is what? Writing. You have a video in your external hard disk. You want to play that. That is called reading. Okay. If you want to read and write data to the database, you require what? Virtual warehouse. Okay. So as of now, there is only one virtual warehouse. What is that? Compute warehouse. Let me create my own warehouse. I would like to create a warehouse. To create a warehouse, the command is create warehouse. Let's say the name is BOA underscore warehouse. So I am creating my own warehouse. So can you see this warehouse is this? We have by default Snowflake has given a warehouse called compute warehouse, and we have a warehouse called BOA underscore warehouse. Okay. Now I'm just doing some small change, guys. This is not required for you. Okay, at this point, I'll explain this later. Okay. This is not required for you at this point. Guys, can you look at the status here? Which color it is showing? BOA. It is in green color, right? It is started, which means the warehouse is started. Now I would like to suspend the warehouse. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm suspending this. Now let's look at the status. What is the status, guys? It is suspended. Okay, the warehouse is suspended. Now I'm running the insert statement. What do you mean by insert, guys? Writing, right? You're writing data to the database. Yes or no? I'm inserting the records. Let me run this. Can you look at the message, guys? Warehouse is suspended. Okay, so you cannot perform the insert operation. So which means if your warehouse is suspended, you cannot able to write the data to the database. Now I would like to start my warehouse. How to start the warehouse? Alter warehouse, warehouse name, resume. Look at the color, guys. It turned to green, which means your warehouse is started. So can I run these inserts? See, I am able to run these inserts, right? So what is the purpose of your warehouse, guys? Tell me. Warehouse will be responsible for writing the data to the database. Okay, one more point is, if you want to read the data from the database, you require a warehouse. Now I'm suspending my warehouse again, guys. I suspended my warehouse. Look at the status, guys. It is suspended. Now I want to read the data. How to read the data, guys? You know the select statement, right? This is called reading. Let me run this. What is select? You are reading the data from the database. Whatever the data that you have inserted, you want to see that. So that is called reading. So since your warehouse is suspended, you cannot read the data. Again, what I need to do? I need to resume the warehouse. Look at the status. Now your warehouse is started. Now let me run the select statement. Yes, I can able to read the data. Whatever the data that I am inserting, or whatever the data that I already inserted, if I want to see that, you require a warehouse. Okay, so I'll stop here for today, guys. I'll take the questions. So if I have to explain you about the architecture, in the database layer, data will be stored. Warehouse layer will be responsible for reading or writing data to the database. Cloud services layer will be responsible for maintaining the metadata. Okay, so generally, right, most of these are the different questions that I used to get from the students. I have made a note here. Okay, so what is the prerequisite to learn this course? So SQL is the prerequisite, guys. If you are not familiar with SQL, we'll share you the videos. Okay, or else you can come to the office, and in the office, right, there are persons who can help you in installing, or they'll clear your doubts. Okay, and the course duration will be exactly 30 sessions, and it will be completed within 35 days. So it will be Monday to Saturday. Okay, generally Saturday, what we are doing is whatever the topics that we have covered from Monday to Friday, right? So we'll take the interview session. So what are the questions that you're going to expect from the interview set? You can we'll discuss on Saturday session. And one more important point is they'll ask you, like, can you able to help us in preparing your resume, certification, interview questions, lab materials? Yes. So these are all the things that we can help you. And one more advantage, right, from StreetTech, right? So if you learn the course, right, so the point is you can interact with the people who are already working. If you can come to the office, right, there are people who are already working on Snowflake, the previous batch students. So few people are working from home. Actually, they got permanent work from home option, so they are working from office only. So you can see the real time, how the real time will look like. Okay, how you're getting the requirements. You can interact with them. If I explain any topic, so how they are implementing in the real time, you can see that as well. So I talked about this one, right, the ETL part, right? Just a minute, I'll show you that. See, we talked about Informatica and DBT, how Informatica and DBT are available in the real time. Okay, what are the different questions that you can expect? So everything can you can learn from this real time person, guys. Okay, you can see the real time environment. The course is completely real time oriented, and yeah, someone is asking a question. Any
And
question, guys?
what about Python?
See, Python, basically our main focus area is on Snowflake. Okay. So if you if you have Snowflake knowledge, right, you can get a job. But along with that, you should know about the basics of the other things. Okay, so we'll cover like close to like 5 to 6 examples on Python. Okay, and DBT will take three 3 sessions, Informatica 2 sessions. Okay, even I'll share you a material on Python, so you can just go through that. That will cover the basics of Python. So any other questions guys, on this? And the course duration will be 30 days, right? So on 25th day, like we will prepare resumes for everyone, and we'll start upload the resumes, and before completion of the course you can attend the interviews. The only thing is the minimum like four hours is required actually. So you have to complete the practice every day 4 hours. Okay, if you are on track you can easily clear the interview. That's for sure. The reason why I'm telling is Snowflake is there in the Indian market from the past 4 years. Okay, it's not that if we cannot compare with other databases. See, if you take Oracle, it is there from more than 30 years. Okay, SQL Server more than 30 years, but Snowflake, it is there from only 4 years in India. In US, it's there from 6 years. Okay, so that is a advantage you have. So this is a new course, and this is the right time to upskill. Or if you are already working, you can just switch your technology. Or if you are looking for a job, this is your right technology. You can stick to this tool for next 10 years. So that is the advantage you have. And I'll show you how the real-time code will look like. Okay, so that you may not get in other maybe from other persons actually. Okay, so just try to visit the office. Okay, even the people who are willing to come to office also, you can come to office, because people who are already sitting in office, and so I'll be available in the office, so you can attend both online or offline. It's up to you guys. Any questions, like from Anisha? We have Jagdish, Swaroop,
A-
Shivaranjani.
And how much knowledge on SQL?
That's what. See, if you're
Uh,
new to SQL,
uh,
so we'll share the videos. You can go through
okay.
that. Okay,
Okay.
and if you still have any questions, we'll create a new group for SQL people. Okay, so we'll clear your doubts. See, SQL is mandatory. That's what. Without SQL, you cannot able to follow Snowflake. Okay, so that is a prerequisite. But you can learn. That's not a big deal actually. So any questions, guys? So every day, right, we'll share the class video and along with the class notes. And if I show you any real-time scenarios, also we'll share that. Okay.
Timings are same or any changes?
The timing, it's the same time. It's 8 to 9. There is no
Okay.
change. Tarun, Sudhakar, any questions from your end? Shamir.
Nothing as of now.
Okay, fine. Shivarajesh, you're good, right? Anyways, join
Yes, sir.
tomorrow session as well. Okay, so you'll
Yeah.
you'll you'll get more details in it. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
so I'll show you like the previous students who got the offer, right? So I'll show you those content as well. If you come to office, right, yeah, you can interact with the people also who are already working. Okay, so that is the advantage you have. So finally, if you learn the course, right, if you don't know how the real time will look like, okay, it's a dilemma for you, right? So that is the advantage you're going to get here. Fine. All right, guys. If you have any questions, I'll answer your questions. There's few people are. Do you have any offline session? Yes, we have offline sessions. You have offline sessions, guys. That's what I'm telling you. You can come to office directly. Okay, so I'll be available in the office. Both it's online or offline as well. Okay, the same timings, 8 to 9. Shrikant, you are good, right? Shrikant and okay. All right, guys. Then we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.